So today I've had some more bad news. A close friend of mine has suddenly passed away whilst being on holiday, and today I just reflect upon the loss and also how these types of posts or these types of episodes are becoming far more frequent now, which is really quite disturbing. So anyway, check the link, keep on watching, keep on listening, and hopefully you'll find it kind of comforting if you've ever been through this kind of feeling or these emotions yourself. Welcome back to consecutive day 1463 of a diary of a runpreneur. If you believe in my mission of saving the lives of children by attempting the ultimate ultra marathon of run vlogging on consecutive days, the distance of a lap of the world barefoot style, then give us a subscribe, share, like and comment. More people we get in front of, more money we raise, and more children's lives we save, which is why I put myself through this every single day. Thank you as always, and let's get started. So, consecutive day 1463 of a diary of a runpreneur, and it's a bit of a somber episode today. I've lost another close friend far too early. I believe he was in his late 40s, early 50s. I can't remember his exact age, but it's somebody who I grew a strong bond with through unlikely circumstances, and somebody who I learned a lot from, and I'm hopeful that I had a positive impact in his life as well. Now, I'm not going to name names for confidentiality reasons, but this individual was somebody who came to me many years ago when I was starting out in my kind of property journey. I had houses they owned that I rented rooms out, and this was somebody who was coming out of the system. He was coming out of prison and he needed a room, and I interviewed him and decided to give him a chance. Just bear with me a second, I'm just going past a big group of people, so for confidentiality I'm just going to let this hold on until I get past them. I'm also trying to stay on my feet, it's a very uneven ground here, so 1 second. Afternoon. How you doing? Oh yeah. Afternoon. They were not the most friendly group that I've come across over my time. But anyway, back to the episode. And yeah, he came to me straight out of prison. Nowhere would home him. The system wouldn't home him. And so he came to me, someone who could potentially help, and interviewed him. And I don't know why, I just saw something in him that he was worth giving a chance. He was an older individual, somebody who I was hoping had made their mistakes in their younger days. And yeah, ultimately I gave him a chance, and he wasn't without his troubles. There's a few kind of spats and things that kind of occurred whilst he was living in shared accommodation, but this was quite normal. In shared accommodation, you'd often get people falling out over the smallest of things, like who's taking my bread would be a common one. You know, somebody is taking someone's fags or something like that. It was just a kind of a common theme. But anyway, he moved on from me. No, he didn't move on from me, that's a lie. He then approached me when I was visiting to see if I had any work for him. And I often did this with tenants that were kind of rebuilding their lives. I'd give them a chance, perhaps do some painting, some clearance work, some low-level kind of property maintenance related things to see whether, you know, they could kind of find a footing. And I've had many members of the team recruited in that manner, and some of them have proven to be amazing, and they've gone on to bigger and better things. And Stu was one of these. Sorry, I've mentioned his first name. I'm not going to mention his surname, so it could be anyone. But anyway, Stu was one of these. He wasn't without moaning. If it was jobs that he enjoyed, he'd give you a full graft. Jobs that he didn't particularly enjoy, but he'd tell you he didn't enjoy them, and he'd tell you the truth. And through his open honesty, we kind of built this level of trust in the regards that I did genuinely trust him. And he used to collect money on my behalf, and you know, these were jobs that I wouldn't give just anybody. They required a great deal of trust, because obviously there's a lot of kind of potential to defraud me if they wanted to. But Stu never did this, and I'll always remember that he was always straight to the point. He was honest. He never let me down. Well, he did let me down, but he'd tell me he'd let me down. And somehow that just seemed a little bit better. Just going past more people, so that just seemed, a little bit kind of more amenable. If he's going to let me down, at least he'd have the courage and honesty to tell me, and the reasons why. And then, lo and behold, over the years, he'd worked for me for many years, and he then, to the extent of I moved house, he came and basically moved in with me for 6 weeks to help renovate the house to a level to get it livable, as my wife was expecting my youngest child to be born at the time, so we were on a tight timeline, and he just drammed down tools, came and spent 6 weeks with me, grafting away to kind of get the house ready, and he did a really good job. I'd take him on trips. We bought a block of flats up in the northwest. We spent a month up there renovating it, putting together flat pack furniture, all these types of things. And you build a good, really strong relationship with people when you're living with them for long periods of time. We drink together. He couldn't drive, or he wasn't able to drive due to his convictions, but I'd drive him around. So he'd spend hours and hours and hours on end in the car singing silly songs, all these things. And then he eventually moved on, as I kind of changed the kind of direction of the business and became less involved on an operational front. And I think that's when he kind of thought, well, I think he enjoyed the relationship. So when I kind of left, he was still working, and then not too long after, he kind of left. And, with my blessing, now I'm just going past someone again. Afternoon. And and then, lo and behold, he managed to get himself a job. He got himself some new accommodation. He stabilised his life. He had a little girl, who's now not far from being a young lady. He'd always try and do his best, even though he'd made different mistakes as a father in the early days. He was starting to put these mistakes right, and again, I had huge respect for him for doing that. And then it kind of continued, and he then found love and got engaged to a lady who he'd met, and they stabilised their life even more. I think they both were earning, and they were going on holidays together, and he was always keeping in touch. He'd always be one to wish me happy birthday. I'd always wish him. Whenever I was in the area, I'd swing by for a cup of tea and a catch up. I'd been to his father's house, which was like a pre-wake because his father was terminally ill. And then, lo and behold, I get the news last week that he's on holiday in Spain. I'm just going past somebody, so just bear with me a second. Thank you. I get the news that he's in Spain, and then he's been taken into hospital, and 2 days later he's passed away. I was absolutely gutted, because he's somebody who was more than just a close to friend to me. He probably didn't realise, sorry, some fly flew into my mouth. He probably didn't realise how special he was to me, and I probably didn't tell him. But then guys don't really do that. But I'd like to think deep down he knew. We had a kind of a bond that was almost like brothers, from incredibly unlikely sources that we met, and we formulated this relationship. And also other people who worked for me had strong relationships with him as well, and I think they would also agree that for all his challenges that it was to work with at times, he was a friend for life, and that's exactly who he was. So the latest in my diary today is that don't be afraid to tell people how much they mean to you. Quite often, too many of us have these conversations, things we'd like to have said to people but never did, and then the time comes when it's too late and you want to say them. And I think I don't have too many regrets here, because I spent a huge amount of time with him, and we had great crack, great fun together. We also worked hard together, and I like to think that I helped him rebuild his life, and he did. genuinely have a good life, up to the point when she passed away. And that was something that may not have happened had we not crossed paths in the early days. And for that, I hope and pray that I'm thankful for. But yeah, life is precious. I've talked about this many times. Tell the people you care for, just tell them you care about them, before the time comes when unforeseen circumstances will take that opportunity away from you. But yeah, miss you, Stu. Look after yourself up there, mate. And I love you, buddy. That's it for me today. Questions or comments? Drop me a line, I'll respond to everyone. Remember, if you believe in motion saving the lives of children by attempting the ultimate ultramarathon of run vlogging on consecutive days, barefoot style distance for that of the world. If you give this a subscribe, share, like, comment. More people we get in front of, more money we raise, more children's lives we save, which is why I put myself through this every single day. Thank you as always. Stay positive, stay happy. I'll see you again tomorrow.